A large portion of the traffic that is traversing the network through your firewall is encrypted. So how do you apply security controls and take a deeper look at that traffic? There's always decryption. But are you decrypting everything? You might not be able to. You might not be able to decrypt everything, perhaps because you don't have a properly sized firewall to do so. And do you really need to decrypt everything that's going on the network? You might not have to, especially when the Cisco Secure Firewall has Encrypted Visibility Engine. Eve. Eve can take a deeper look at the traffic on the network without doing decryption. At that point, it's using fingerprinting techniques on the TLS handshake to find out what the application is. And is there threats that are in this packet flow that's going on through your network? That is the job of Eve, is to alleviate some of the decryption that you might be doing or to apply some of these techniques in other areas of the network where there's a firewall. Today, we're going to take a quick look at Encrypted Visibility Engine. Eve has been around since the 7172 days of Firepower or Cisco Secure Firewall. And with each of the different versions, 7.2, 7.4, and so on, you get different features for Encrypted Visibility Engine. Today, we're going to take a look at that. Now, one of the things to note is that you do need a valid threat license to run Encrypted Visibility Engine. Let's take a look at the policy first. We're in Security Cloud Control. We'll go over to our policy and we'll jump into the Cloud Delivered FMC. We'll select our policy and we'll move over to what we see here is the More button. If we drop this down, we'll see that we have an Encrypted Visibility Engine option. And you can see that I have it configured already with that green check mark. We'll click on that. We have a couple of options here. You can enable it. We also have the option to monitor or protect. So now with protect, what we're taking a look at is actually stopping threats that might be out there. There is a confidence score that is applied to the traffic that is encrypted. And the confidence score lets us know it's possibly this application, as well as this is possibly a threat. Do you want to stop that? So we're making a selection here to stop high or very high based on the confidence levels that it sees. And you'll take a look at that confidence level shortly. Now, the default really is very high. That way we don't open ourselves up to some false positives potentially. So the recommendation is to keep it at very high. You also have the ability to do some exceptions in order to skip over that traffic and not block something that you shouldn't be blocking. We're going to leave this alone and we're going to go back to our policy. And we're going to click our policy again, and we're going to see where you can potentially block some of this traffic. So we'll use as an example, let's create a new rule. We'll add rule, and we'll select some zones here. And let's go to test users. So between these two zones, any network, any port, let's look at the applications. We have some tags that are out there. And you'll notice that one of the tags will be Encrypted Visibility Engine. There's around 413 recognized apps right now. This continues to be updated all the time. So it's important to make sure that your firewall is scheduled to receive these updates because it happens all the time. We'll check this box and we'll see the applications that are out there. So now if there's something that Encrypted Visibility Engine picks up and says it's AnyDesk and you do want to block that, you can create a policy around what Encrypted Visibility Engine sees in that encrypted traffic. So just something for you to note there. Let's go back out. So let's say we've created our policy. We want to take a look at what's out there log-wise. What does Encrypted Visibility Engine look like in the log? We'll go over to our events and logs, unified events within the Cloud Delivered FMC. Now it looks like it's querying everything in the last hour. So we'll let that load. And what we'll do is that we'll filter here. We'll filter, let's look for port. We want source or destination port. Let's say TCP. Let's just select TCP high ports for now. Let's apply that. Now we can see our connections. Everything 443 is coming up. And we can see here that there are some web applications already recognized. We see WebEx, we see Thousand Eyes, the access control rules that are being hit. We see different applications that are out there just naturally from what the firewall is doing. However, what we're missing here is the Eve information. So we're going to go and add those columns in. Let's select Eve, and we see a couple of options. We're going to skip on the fingerprinting. However, we're going to add the process confidence, the process name, the threat confidence, and threat confidence score. We'll click apply, and we'll see those columns getting added in. Here we go. Now we see additional information on our encrypted traffic. We can see that the firewall, the Eve process, is 99% sure this is Cisco WebEx. The Eve threat confidence is very low, and the threat confidence score, because it's very low, it's 0%. That's as low as you can go. Now, if that confidence was higher, if the threat score was higher based on the settings that we had earlier, that traffic would be blocked because it had a high threat value assigned to it. It would be blocked. And I also have the opportunity to go in and individually select some of these applications that show up in the Eve process name and block those in the policy as well. But we can continue seeing that there's some 22% confidence score on certain applications that, yeah, we're not sure this is Microsoft Windows Defender. It could be, but it's not. And I know it's not. But we are very confident in a couple of other things that are out there, and we can keep scrolling through. 96% sure that this is Chromium. In Linux networking, 100% that this is Linux networking. There is no threat for that. Again, this is to give you additional insights to the traffic that's traversing your network, especially if it's decrypted. Now you have the ability in certain use cases to utilize Eve in certain parts of the network to see what those applications are and to see if there are some threats. Use Eve if you have the ability to. I will see you on the next one.